Guys, the time has come. This video is going to be extra special for the Civic. As you guys know, I do work on quite a bit of Japanese cars, and that's kind of all I work on. So this is my 2014 Honda Civic Si, and what we're going to be doing to this, we're going to be boosting this baby. So I do have the whole kit basically already right here, everything I need to boost this car. And this is where the magic happens. This is a precision turbo with a T51 R mod. As you guys can see, it is a pretty decent sized turbo, as you can see with my hand. This is a big turbo. And it does have the T51 R mod, so it's going to make some nice boost noises. The best thing about this is it's a ball bearing turbo as well. I went with a good turbo setup. Precision, I believe, makes some good turbos. So this is what the turbo I went with. I also got the whole kit, so everything comes with everything. This is a fuel pump. And we also have some injectors in here. So we got some nice, let's see what sizes are. ID 1050s. Injectors for the Civic. I don't know how this car is going to handle on boost, but I guess we'll see. Can either go both ways. Can either go really good or really bad. But I'm prepared for that because having boost on a car like this is just going to be so much fun. But yeah, first things first, I got to start taking this bad boy apart. What I'm going to do now is take off the side skirts so I can get the car on the lift. Cool, we got the car on the lift. As you can see, she's ready to start getting some stuff taken apart. So the thing is, what we got to do right now is take off the front bumper. I have to take off the side fenders, the wheels. This whole subframe is going to have to get dropped in order to reach the rear of the car, so I can start getting that turbo fit. My whole setup is already right here. The downpipe, the intercooler tubing, we have the wastegate, the turbo here, intercooler, all the little couplers and stuff, all the little flanges. This is for the rear, the downpipe for the car as well. Pretty sick, man. We also have the bolts, the brackets for the intercooler. We got the intake. It's gonna be a pretty sick setup, man. All the lines and everything are all in there. So yeah, we're gonna start diving right into this. I'm gonna start doing all the boring, tedious stuff like getting off the bumpers and subframe and whatnot. So that's gonna go down right now. So let's go ahead and get started on this. It's about an hour later. We have the bumper off, we have the subframe off, and we also have everything else off in between where we need to put our turbo. So as you guys can see, we have plenty of room to work down here now. This whole thing needs to come off. So we can start fitting our turbo. Cool. Well, after a few broken knuckles later, I got the exhaust off, and that is exactly where the turbo is going to go. Got to make an oil return feed line. I believe the oil sensor is right there. That's where the oil sensor is. So we got to take this off, make a little oil feed line right here, and then I ordered a piece so I can use the tensioner pulley. Right here is where our oil drain is going to be. Got to take this little piece off, connect the hose there, and the oil for the turbo is going to feed into here, and that's going to drain. I mean, that's a drain. My bad. Drain line. And this is the feed line. Repeat that. Feed line, drain line, both on both sides. Turbo is going to sit about right here, a little more down, probably like right here is where the turbo is going to sit. The manifold is going to come down. Downpipe's gonna stretch all the way down to the exhaust. Man, this thing's gonna look freaking sick. I'm so excited. But yeah, let's keep taking shit apart and I'll let you guys know what's going on. So I've been playing around with this setup a little bit. Obviously got the turbo there, it's beautiful. But I put the blow-off valve on this little V-band on one of these intercooler pipings. This is all set up. We put our little MAF sensor right there as well. So this is what the intercooler looks like on the car. Pretty sick, right? Hell yeah. But So I just put these little couplers and everything. I'm trying to mock everything up, trying to figure out exactly where everything's going to lead up to. Obviously we have everything all gutted over here, so I'm assuming that the pipe's going to come through here earlier in the back. Oh, and then when I kind of clock the turbo a little bit and move it so I can figure out exactly how it's going to sit. And then this bottom one is the oil return. So oil feed, oil return. So oil return is what's going to go to that that tensioner pulley I was talking about, right up above it, or timing belt cover, whatever you want to call it. This is going to be where that oil pressure sensor is going to go to. They provide you with a T for that. So this is the line that they give you, and I've read that people have problems with leaks with this one, so that's why I'm ordering a new one so I don't have any leaks, because I'd suck to have a leak and have to pull everything off again. But I'll still use this line, of course. So this line will just go straight to the turbo. This is going to go from the oil feed right here, right there, and this will go to that oil pressure sensor without this adapter though. I'm going to use a different one. K-series parts only. Best of the best. Yo dogs. Alright guys, another day in the shop. Let's go ahead and move this beautiful S14 chassis. As you can see, I did put my side skirts back on. New Kansai tandem wheels are on the car. That shit looks nasty. But the best thing about this car is that it runs fantastic now. So I'm gonna go ahead and move this car up so we can get started finishing up our turbo build on the Honda Civic. Alright guys, I wanted to show you guys something. So I have 3 gauges that are going to go right along the side of the car. I have my 3 gauge pod right here, and this is going to be from OZ Gauge Pods. They custom made this gauge pod. So I'm going to have 3 gauges: oil pressure, boost, and air fuel ratio. I just finished wiring up all this crap, so I had to make had to tap into a fuse and do a vacuum line and do plugs and all kinds of shit. So it's gonna look pretty good once it's done. I'll show you guys here in a bit. I'm almost done with it. I have the intake, all intercooler piping is routed. The intake's all the way up here. This is the breather filter that I put on. All I have to do now is route the turbo with the lines, oil feed and oil return, but I'm waiting on vacuum lines to come in and parts. So battery is all just chilling right there. This is a little line that's going to be for my boost gauge, and what's crazy is I have all the lines routed for my gauges. So let me just go ahead and show you how beautiful my setup is. So when you hop in the car, you can see gauges are on the left hand side on the Civic. And the way I routed this and fixed it up is whenever I turn on the car, just like so, you could see the gauges come right on. We got oil pressure, air fuel ratio, and we got turbo boost gauge. Oh my god, I am just so proud of myself right now. You have no idea how long this took me to route this. I mean, it didn't take me that long, maybe it took me like 2 days, but man, it is so worth it. The way these gauges stick out on this, like, just imagine you're just driving and you're just looking at those gauges, like, oh my gosh. Obviously they don't blink, it's just because of the camera. But yeah, this is freaking crazy. I never in my mind thought that this would happen with my Civic, but here we are, full gauges set up and everything. And obviously my turbo is ready to go. This is my oil return. This is going to connect to the wastegate. I finally got that in today. I've been waiting on parts like crazy. It seems like whenever you order a turbo kit, don't be prepared to have everything you need, because you definitely don't get everything. This is the oil feed, and of course there's things that, you know, I ran into, like lines aren't long enough, oil return lines aren't long enough, incorrect size of you know, these as well, the adapters, the wastegate. This is ready to go on as well onto my manifold, which is already in the car. I heat wrapped my whole header, so everything is heat wrapped, and including the wastegate dump tube. This is all heat wrapped, so I can reduce, you know, some temperatures in the car. The turbo, I have a turbo blanket that I'm gonna put on the turbo, which is right here. Turbo blanket. That's gonna be nice to have on the turbo, keep the temps down. Pretty much I'm kind of setting up this whole kit to be perfect, because I don't want to have any issues down the road. Might as well just do it all once, right? And then you'll be good. Alright guys, well, so far waiting so many days, which really sucked, I finally have the turbo mounted. And it's not because I take too long, it's because I'm waiting on parts back to back. So finally I got the oil feed line connected all the way around to the back. It doesn't even touch the turbo nor the the wastegate pipe. It goes all the way around straight to that T-fitting right there, which I put it on. Connects my oil pressure gauge, my oil pressure sensor, and then my oil feed line. And here's my oil return line all hooked up all nicely. As you can see, the back is all hooked up, and this goes straight down into that oil tensioner cover, which is a very smart way to do your return line, because doing it, drilling a hole in the oil pan could be a big mess and could, you know, could leak later on. And this is kind of a secure way to make sure nothing leaks. Intercooler piping's all hooked up. You guys know that there's a little nipple on this turbo. I got that hooked up all the way to the wastegate, so that's hooked up. Obviously you leave the outside one off, unless you have a boost controller, which I do not have. I just have straight wastegate, and that's what I'm going to run off of. So this is all heat wrapped, all nice and tucked away. It is very close to the axle where it spins. I'm going to have to secure that pretty good. I'm going to put a turbo blanket on real quick. So once I do my downpipe, which is my exhaust, it's gonna go straight down this way, straight to the inner part of the car. But yeah, I think I did a pretty damn good job, not gonna lie. So now what I gotta do now is just kind of reroute everything. As far as doing this, I gotta hook up the blow-off valve lines up there on the top. Yeah, I don't know, it's looking pretty damn good. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very impressed with myself, and hopefully we don't have no leaks. Maybe I might get the first start in, maybe not tonight, but maybe tomorrow. Sorry, it's been kind of a rough time trying to record. It's very hard to record the process because everything is just so tight. But yeah, let me go and show you my downpipe. This is my downpipe that I heat wrapped all around, and that hooks up with a V-band to the top, so very easy hookup. So yeah, let's go ahead and finish up this install. Damn, I am not gonna lie, I think I did a hell of a job on this turbo kit. As you guys can see, we have a fully mounted turbo with the intake, top lines all done. We have the whole downpipe coming down to the exhaust. This is already all V-band tied up and everything. As you guys can see, it is all done. The wastegate tube, I found a way to not let it sit anywhere near the axles, because the axle is right there. As you can see, there's a little gap right there. I did bring my subframe over here. The subframe seems to line up perfectly. Does not have any kind of rubbing on this at all whatsoever, the way I have it. But yeah, this thing looks pretty freaking crazy, and I'm so happy with it and how it turned out. I just wanted to show you my turbo blanket too, how I got this on. Looks super sick. Should keep a lot of heat off of the engine, so actually it helps out a lot to have that. I did route my O2 sensor or air fuel ratio gauge right underneath the heat shield, so that's right underneath, so that's not going to get hot or melt or whatsoever. This is right here, but I think that's going to be fine because I have my heat wrapped down pipe, so that's going to be just fine. I think I'm pretty much done, guys, down here. Now basically just got to finish the top portion. I have routed from my boost brake booster line on the intake manifold. This is where my blow-off valve is going to be routed to, so I routed all the way over here. Put a T right here. This is for my boost gauge, this clear line. This line is going to go all the way around, straight to the blow-off valve, connected double to the A and the B and the synapse. And the intake's on. This little guy's on. MAF is plugged in. So we're going to give her our first start and see how she does. Hopefully nothing bad happens. Alright, nervous time now. Alright, now I'm going to plug the injectors back in. Let's see if we can get a good start here. So good. Okay. All right. Wow. It's leaking. Okay, that's not leaking. What's we got here? Leaks right there. Okay. Not bad. Okay, turn it off. Wow. Sounded pretty healthy there. Did you hear that? Yeah. That sounded very healthy. Man. Jesus Christ. Am I a genius or what? Went okay. I didn't hear any turbo noises, but I'm thinking that's normal because of the lag on this turbo. So I think it's because of the piping. Obviously there's a lot of distance towards the pipings, so that's pretty normal if you ask me. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of look into more things, see how it goes, but so far she is completely boosted. How exciting. Very exciting stuff. Very exciting that I get to feel like I accomplished something like this. It's just amazing. To me, this is just unreal. For what I had this vision on this car when I first got it a long time ago, and now when I first bought it back again, it's just, my mind is blown away right now. I just don't believe it. I do not believe that this car is mine still, and I do not believe that it looks the way it looks with a turbo. This is just crazy. Crazy, crazy shit, man. Now let's see if we can get a little bit of boost loaded in here. Alright, so something very unfortunate happened. I know I had started the car for you guys and you guys saw what happened, but there was a video I did not record, but this thing started smoking like crazy, so the oil was not returning to where it's supposed to, and it was building up in the turbo. So I took apart the turbo, or not the turbo, I took apart everything, found a bunch of oil coming out of the turbo, cleaned it off real good. The seal should still be good. I just put everything back together, and now I'm clocking the turbo to where the drain line can actually face downwards. It's kind of hard to tell, but it is at an angle now to where it's draining downwards instead of up. So I kind of made a big mistake there, but it wasn't too bad of a mistake because I was able to fix it. So now this oil is draining perfectly downwards. And I have my oil drain, of course, feeding to the oil tensioner like I had said. So now that it's going downwards, we should be good to go. I'm going to put everything back together, give her a start up once over, put on the fuel pump, and she'll be ready for a tune. Now time for our turbo blanket, which is a very easy thing to put on. All it requires is these little springs right here to be connected together. That's all it is. First, we gotta prime the system and get the oil pressure into the turbo again. Disconnect the injectors to do that. Now that we can do that, should be good to start it again. So let's go ahead and see what we can do here. This should be able to boost a lot better now, I hope. Fingers crossed that this goes well. So like I said, prime the system, get some oil pressure into this thing, and we'll see what happens. Well, pretty much what I did now is there was a fuel pump inside the car I had to take apart. The whole fuel tank is open right now. There's a fuel pump for the car. So now I gotta take this apart, figure it out. I gotta go ahead and put this fuel pump inside of this fuel reservoir, whatever you want to call it. So let's go ahead and throw on this bigger fuel pump onto this, see what happens. Alright, so everything's pretty straightforward. I put the new fuel pump. Now I'm about to install it straight into the tank again. Got the O-ring on there. I got the factory clip. Brand new fuel filter, so that's nice. This, I don't know why this is there, but I'm just going to cut it off. Probably just clip it off real quick, because it serves no purpose. I think we're all good. This thing's ready to go back in. I did use a different kind of O-ring because it just seemed like it'd be better to use a brand new one. This one seems kind of old. Hopefully it doesn't make a difference. We'll see. I feel like it's going to be fine. Like I said, old fuel pump, put everything back on that I thought was supposed to go on, so I think we should be good. Let's go ahead and throw this back in the car. Well guys, I had to do a lot of stuff to the Civic. It's not looking too good so far. So far what happened was, as I was installing the turbo, it seems like the oil drain line was not positioned correctly, so that's kind of what messed up my Civic. Also, I positioned the oil drain line because they said that it could be fixable, but apparently once I redid the drain line towards draining properly, more downwards, which it was draining, gravity was pulling it down for sure, did not go so well. So let me just show you the culprit right here. This is my 6062 ball bearing turbo. which I think failed on its own, because ever since I got this turbo, it has not built 1 pound of boost on my boost gauge. It has not read any boost whatsoever. I don't know if that has to do with the tune or whatever, but I feel like it should have at least built up a little bit of boost. No boost whatsoever out of this turbo. The 6062 is a good sized turbo, which I was thinking it should build up a pretty good amount of boost. As you can see in there, there is oil inside the turbine. Oil was splurging out into my exhaust, causing smoke and all kinds of bad stuff. Unfortunately, I didn't get that on camera, but this has already happened a few times. I've taken this turbo off numerous amounts of times to see if I can fix it, but it has not been fixed. The oil drain was draining properly into oil tensioner. And also, I don't know, maybe too much oil pressure, I guess. I don't know if the drain has to be straight down, I guess, or because it was kind of at an angle to where it was a little bit down. But I don't know. Do these turbos have to go straight down for the drain? I could have drilled to the oil pan, I guess, but you guys let me know. Let me know if you have any suggestions what I should do. But I feel like the oil pressure, every time I built a lot of oil pressure, over 60 or 70 oil pressure on the car, it was just splurging out oil out of the turbo. It was not feeding right. This has a pretty decent fitting on there. It's not a big fitting, it's a small little hole. I ordered an oil restrictor fitting. Maybe if I put a restrictor fitting on there, maybe that'll help, because it's a lot smaller of a hole than this. I don't know. I've never ran into an issue like this before. And let me just show you guys real quick. Yep, as you can hear, that is the shaft plate on the turbo. So that makes me think, why did this turbo not build boost from the beginning? How come it's not building boost right now when I had it in there? It even in there. It could just be the seals blew. I don't know, it could have been a bad turbo to begin with, to be honest. So I don't know, it just kind of sucks, man. But it is what it is. But this is where the vlog's gonna end right here. So maybe I order some more parts. We'll figure this out next time. Oh, it sucks that I spent all this time and money trying to get this turbo to go, and now it's just a no-go. So that's unfortunate. Whatever, what can we do? These cars do not fix themselves. I have to fix it. I have to keep going. I have to believe that it can work. So the best thing I could do is just wait for some more parts, wait for some feedback from the turbokits.com, where I got the turbo kit, and hopefully they reach out back to me soon. I did message them quite a bit of time, so we'll see what happens. They have been very responsive, very good. So shout out to them for being awesome. They're an awesome company. So let's just kind of wait and see what happens. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.